Hi students, good morning to all. How are you? I think all are good and healthy. I'm Rajeshwari, RTPS from Gundlakunta School. Today I am going to make learn you about classification of elements. We already learnt in ninth class the differences between elements, compounds and mixtures. Do you remember the differences? First, the mixtures. Mixtures have the contents in proportions. We can add or remove anything what we need from it. On the other hand, compounds are those which are fixed in proportions. If you change the contents proportion, there will be a change in compound. For example, H2O, that is water. From H2O, if you remove one hydrogen from this composition, the water as a compound does not exist. Thus, fixed proportion is must in compound. Lastly, we have elements. Elements are the purest form of any substance. They are composed of only the same type of atoms. No proportion or random mixing of substances. We can say that compounds and mixtures are made up of elements. So, elements are the basic form of substances we find around, and we need to study about these. That means about elements which are the basic forms. Let us see this picture. It is the picture of medical shop. It contains vast number of medicines. It is difficult for us or to a shopkeeper to remember the names of all medicines. When you go to a medical shop and ask for medicines, the shopkeeper gives them without any difficulty. Can you think how it is possible? Let us see another picture. It is the picture of a superbazaar. When you observe this picture, you can see a particular arrangement of goods inside it. When you look for any grocery or any item that you need, you can easily select that. In what way it make you easy to select? Think for a while. When you observe these two pictures, you can understand that for any system involving several things, a particular arrangement of things is essential. That means a medical shop, the medicines are arranged in an order in this shop, and also the goods or vegetables etc. are arranged in an order in a super bazaar. Even in chemistry, from the earliest times, scientists have been trying to classify the available elements on the basis of their properties. There is a need for arrangement of elements in an organized manner. Many scientists or chemists tried to arrange the elements. In 1861, Robert Boyle defined element as any substance that cannot be decomposed into a further simple substance by physical or chemical change. At this time, that means at the time of Robert Boyle, about 13 elements were known. Towards the end of the 18th century, by the time of Lavoisier, another 11 elements are discovered. By 1865, about 63 elements were known. In 19th century, by 1940, the total of 91 elements from natural sources and 17 elements by synthetical sources were obtained. As the number of elements increased, it became difficult to keep in memory the properties or chemistries of different individual elements and their compounds. In the beginning of 18th century, Joseph Louis Proust stated that hydrogen atom is the building matter and the atoms of other elements are simply due to the combination of hydrogen atoms. At last, the chemists started to frame ways to group these elements and compounds on the basis of their physical and chemical properties. Look at this picture. He is a German chemist. His name is Johann Wolfgang Dobereiner. He is the first scientist who tried to classify the elements. See this picture, students? He classified the elements into groups where each group consisting of three elements known as triads. The elements of triads have similar chemical properties. At his time, there were 15 to 16 elements are discovered. He classified these elements into 5 groups and each group consisting of 3 elements. These 3 elements have similar chemical properties and arranged in ascending order of their atomic weight. The atomic weight of middle element is the average of atomic weights of the first and third elements. Observe this table. Here we can see that there are 5 groups. Each group has 3 elements. In the first group, lithium, sodium, potassium. In the second group, calcium, strontium, barium. Like the other groups, three elements are there in each group. At the same time, we observe the arithmetic mean of arithmetic weight column. In the first group, we got 23. It is the arithmetic mean of 7 and 39, where 7 is the atomic weight of lithium and 39 is the atomic weight of potassium. The result is 23, which is the atomic weight of the middle element, that is sodium. If we observe the table once again, we can understand that the first group elements lithium, sodium, potassium are in the one group. That means these have the same properties. The remaining groups are also as follows. If we remember one element's property, we can easily remember the other two elements' properties of that group. In this way, Dauberreiner classified the elements as triads. His triads law is satisfied for 3 groups only. The other 2 groups are not satisfied. So the identified 3 groups, that means the known elements at the time, could not be arranged in the form of triads. This is one of his limitation. The second limitation is the law is failed for very low mass or for very high mass elements. As the techniques improved for measuring the atomic masses accurately, the law was unable to strictly valid. Due to these reasons or limitations, Dauberner's triad is not valid for long time. But we have to remember him as the first chemist who tried to classify the elements. Though Dauberner classified only 9 elements, his work encouraged other scientists to study elements in a better way. One of them is a British chemist called John Newlands. See this picture, students? He is John Newlands. He is a chief chemist of sugar refinery in London. Later, he quit his job and started working with his brother Benjamin. He started to study elements in a different way. After a lot of thinking, he got an idea in arrangement of elements. He arranged the known elements from hydrogen to thorium in increasing order of their atomic masses in a pattern. Can you guess what is that pattern? Before going to know about Newland's pattern, I want to ask a question. Have you ever played a piano or listened its sound? We can hear the musical notes from a piano as Sarigama Padanisa. These 8 musical notes are called an octave. Here clearly we can see that 8th note is Sa and first note is also Sa. That means 8th note Sa is resembles with the first note Sa. This is exactly what Newland's pattern, where eighth element has the property similar to the first one. If we see his Newland's pattern table, we can observe that lithium has the similar property as sodium, which is the eighth element from lithium. Like this, boron and aluminum and so on. This begins the basis what we call the law as Newland's octaves. The law states that every eighth element in the order of increasing atomic mass has properties similar to the first element. Here, observe the table carefully. Elements with similar chemical properties are to be present along a horizontal row. Newlands was the first one to assign the atomic number to the elements. In Newland's table of elements, it starts with hydrogen and move down and then start at the top. Eighth element is fluorine and the next eighth element is chlorine and so on. If you choose lithium, then the eighth element is sodium and the next eighth element is potassium and so on. These lithium, sodium and potassium have the same properties. This is his pattern. Unfortunately, his work was neither accepted by his seniors nor by Journal of Chemical Society due to some limitations. There are instances of two elements filled into the same slot, like cobalt and nickel are arranged in one slot but not in different slots. The second one is some dissimilar elements, that is, which are having different property elements are fitted in the same group. For example, cobalt, nickel, iridium, platinum, etc. elements are having different properties, but they are kept in the first group and compared with the halogens. The next limitation is the law was not valid for all elements that has higher atomic masses than calcium. The next limitation is Newland's periodic table was restricted to 56 elements. He doesn't give any space for the further elements which are going to be discovered in future. This is about Newland's octaves. Thank you, students.